Hello and welcome to The Conversation. I'm Shannon Taylor, the Executive Director of Blacks and Jews in Conversation. As you've just seen, we have on our program an entire harem of wonderful, wonderful performers. Don't ask me how this happened, but I've been blessed. We've all been blessed today with the Sheeba ensemble. And I will introduce them one by one, and I think I'm capable of doing this, but if not, they'll correct me. They come courtesy of previous guests on the show, Lee Drexler, Jim Cohen, and they performed in the temples and all the different bevies of Carnegie Hall and Lincoln Center and A.V. Fisher Hall. They come from Europe and from Israel. Their credentials are the Manhattan School of Music, and I can't tell you how many credentials they have that I'm not going to tell you right now. I may give it to you later, but let me give you a little brief synopsis. They are promoting traditional Jewish music, contemporary Jewish composers with an improvisational flair. That's not my flair, that's the real flair. They have a classical style with jazz and bossa nova, a variety of traditions of Ashkenazic and Sephardic and popular tunes. From Gilad Cohen and Ronnie Reshev, who I just saw at the various festivals from Israel, including the Film Festival, and they've come from Mount Kisco as well as Bedford. They've been at Symphony Space, and they have a Friday night live series, God help me, I don't have no idea what that is, in one of these congregations. They perform at the Home for the Aged, and they've come from Connecticut, at Trinity College, and they're going to do a concert tour of France. They're not taking me with them, so I'm not going to tell you any more about France, where I spent my honeymoon. Talia Smilowitz is a soprano. Her operatic roles include my favorite composer, Mozart, and she has been at McCourt, and I used to represent Shlomo Carlebach as an attorney, and she has a featured role in a new musical about the life and music of Rabbi Carlebach. I'm a member, of course, of the Carlebach congregation for many, many years, and a close friend of mine has been the producer of this show, and it has been at the Heritage Museum and at the JCC, and of course she is the chazan at Bedford Hills. And then Alicia Kravitz, a major in both music and American history. And I, of course, was a double major in that as well as in geology. American history has been my passion. She's a winner of the Artists International Music Competition, was at Carnegie Hall in 2007, and a solo recital, Alice Tully Hall, which just got a new facelift. And where they get the money for all these buildings facelifts, I don't know, but it looks very, very nice. She has been in the Great Neck Young Musicians Competition and is a first-year law student at Fordham University School of Law, where our organization, composed of judges, attorneys, and other professionals and celebrities, has had many programs, including with Professor Abramovsky. And did you know, Professor, that one of your students is right here on this show? Gabriel Fink, violinist, also won prizes, and has been at the National Arts and Letters String Competition, the Wallenstein Violin Competition, and has been with the members of the Berlin Philharmonic and the Barge Music Festival in Italy. And if you've ever been to Italy and you've seen that festival, you don't want to leave. She will be in an upcoming film, DreamWorks film called Ghost Town, as a solo violinist. I do not think she's playing anything but the ghost with that violin. Leah Sabah is a cellist and has been in the Ukraine and in Austria, and the Lillian Fuchs Chamber Music Competition, of which I'm personally familiar, the State Symphony Orchestra of Ukraine, the Kiev Pop Symphonic Orchestra is one of the few pop symphonies I'm not familiar with. I've played in many, including with Skitch Henderson and the Boston Pops. And unfortunately, my skills are not what they used to be, so now we have other musicians to give you those skills. She's performed with Pinchas Zuckerman, one of the all-time greats, and the Kubrick Quartet in Berlin, Germany. We're hoping to bring judges to Germany. I just met the Consul General at the American Israel Friendship League dinner last night at the Plaza, a grand festival that was, honoring Lally Weymouth of the Washington Post, and of course the publisher of the New York Daily News, Mort Zuckerman, put together by Bill Baer, the CEO, and honoring the outgoing ambassador to the UN, who's been there for 6 years. And last but not least, we have Natalie Tannenbaum on the piano, who has said that she's not going to say one word on this program. She must have met me before at some point. She was born in Israel and came from the Telma Yellen High School in Givatayim. and graduated with her Bachelor of Music from the Juilliard School. In 2007, she's been to the Lincoln Center, the Kennedy Center, and she's a pianist for the European tour of Bernstein's West Side Story, the Asia tour of 42nd Street, the United States tour of Evita. I've seen all 3 shows, and I expect plenty of tickets coming my way for all these shows. If you want to contact the Sheeba Ensemble, and I know you will, and here is another look at all these wonderful performers, you contact Alicia Kravitz. And Alicia, say hello, wave your hand. At the Sheeba Ensemble, and that is SHEBA.ensemble. You can see it on the screen. Just put a dot instead of the dash at gmail.com. That's Sheeba.ensemble at gmail.com or 914-420-9584 for sponsorship. This is you will not regret just having them in your home. I had no idea who was showing up here, and I have been extremely pleasantly surprised. I have various young men waiting at the door to the studio right now. The sample programs include Bashana Haba'a, Tumbalaika, Often Privisher, Prayers of Jewish Life, and Ladino Music. That is the Spanish-Jewish compilation from late Renaissance Spain, and they'll go into the rest of the program with you. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Talia, and the ensemble will tell you each piece as they come, and in the midst of all of this, you'll hear an old favorite of this program. It is the Tikkun Olam, composed by our own Jim Cohen, and I might say, if you've listened to our show before, you've heard it with Pete Seeger. It has been complemented by the maestro himself. It's been passed on to various other orchestras, and now you will have the Sheeba Ensemble imprimatur on Jim Cohen's work. But before that, you'll hear Sheeba Ensemble's own touch. Take it away, Natalie. I know who I was talking to. The pianist is the keyboard is the beat of the group. Talia, you're the voice.
That's right. Hi. Thank you so much, Shannon, for having us on the show. And we'd like to play a song for you. It's a modern Hebrew song called Bashana Haba'a, and it's about a yearning for peace, and that one day when we do have peace, we can enjoy the simple pleasures in life. And the refrain goes like this in English. It's in Hebrew, but in English it means, one day we will see how good it will be in the next year.
Thank you. Thank you. And what does that mean? And speak directly into the mic when you explain it.
Bashana Haba'a is about in the next year. It's a yearning for peace and how good it will be. We're hoping how good it will be in the next year. There will be peace and we can enjoy life.
And of course, ever optimistic. Israelis ever optimistic. Jews ever optimistic. Me not so optimistic. But I don't want to put the rain on the parade. And go right ahead and introduce the members of your ensemble.
Okay. To my left, Liat Saba on cello, Natalie Tenenbaum on piano, Gabrielle Fink on violin, and Alicia Kravitz on flute. And I'm Talia Smilowitz singing. And we all met, actually, we all went to school together, Juilliard and Manhattan School of Music, and we became good friends, and we love each other's music, we have great respect for each other, and we decided to form Sheeba. So here we are.
Let's go right into your next song.
Right, the next song is a song written by Jim Cohen, who is here right now, and he wrote a beautiful song about peace as well, called Tikkun Olam, meaning repair the world. So this is for you, Jim, and congratulations on writing such a great song. There are so many pieces broken in this world. There's cruelty and loneliness. There's prejudice and pain. There are so many pieces broken in this world, and I can only mend them one by one. Tikkun olam, repair the world. Tikkun olam, arreglar el mundo. I can only mend them. I can only mend them. All alone I can just mend them one by one. Sometimes so many pieces rain on me and you. So many pieces falling. Seems there's nothing we can do. But if you will work with me, and I will work with you, we can mend the broken pieces two by two. Tikkun olam, tikkun olam, guérir le monde. You and I can mend them together, me and you. Yes, you and I can mend them two by two. There are so many pieces broken in this world. There's ignorance and cruelty and so much needless pain. But if everyone who hears the song will get a friend to come along, together we can make a healing chain. Tikkun olam, repair the world. Tikkun olam, tasref el alam. Together we can heal them. We can surely start to heal them. Make a mighty way to do Tikkun olam. Yes, together we can heal them. Join hands and start to heal them. Make a mighty way to do Tikkun olam.
Thank you. And we had Natalie Kravitz on the keyboard. And that is one heck of a keyboard. It takes up the entire room. Don't think it was easy to get it in here and set everything up. And the song, of course, is old Judaic principle to go with the Judaic music we're hearing. And it's not just Judaic. It's gone into traditions of all religions and philosophies of God having set forth a planet and said there are problems here. Not everything has been completed, and it's up to humankind to keep repairing it and perfecting it and putting in what's missing, and that's why we're in the mess we're in, because it's very slow going. And we can see in India and so forth just how slow it is, because there are always those who are not repairers. There are those who want to set us back. but there are those like Jim and others, and the music of this ensemble that is there for inspiration to say hope is to push us forward, and that's what our organization stands for. It stands for hope, it stands for conversation, it stands for healing, it stands for pushing forward. And I'd like to ask, how did you and Jim first meet?
Well, on Friday night, first Friday of every month, I'm a cantorial soloist at Shari Tefila in Bedford, New York, and I started singing there about a little over a year ago, and I met Jim and Joanne there, and they would invite me over to stay at their place while I was up there for the weekend, and I had so many fun times at their house, and he would cook me delicious dinners, and we just had a wonderful time just singing together, and he shared his music with me one night when I was there, and we really just decided we wanted to collaborate together some more, so that's how it happened.
Let me hear a little bit from the law student. I want to hear from how Fordham Law School and music come together. Are you studying the law of music?
Not yet. This is my first year, so I'm taking the basic law courses for now. But maybe in the future I'll do some entertainment law. We will see.
Well, Alicia, do you enjoy Fordham Law School? Do you find it interferes with your music aspirations? Does it help? Does it hinder?
No, it hasn't hindered just yet. In fact, it's helped. I somehow managed to do both and to perform as much as possible with Sheeba, and we've done a lot of performances this year, and no, it hasn't interfered at all. And I'm so lucky to be able to have this group to, as a break from all the reading and the studying.
Thank you. Gabriella, tell me about the movie. I'm excited. I'm not in it.
Well, I was living on this wonderful street, 105th Street, and my neighbor, Rosella and Teo, we became friends, and Rosella is an agent for actors, and she came to all of my concerts, and then she thought of me for this part. They needed an actress who plays violin in one of the scenes, so it was really, really neat because I got my own trailer and my own hairdresser, makeup, and I just felt very glamorous, but just for one day. And it's fun. A lot of people who I haven't seen in a long time have called me like, "Was that you?" I'm like, "I don't know. I haven't seen the movie yet. I don't know if it looks good or not."
Now, Liat, if you can shuffle your cello over there tell me how you came from Israel to Juilliard. I asked this question of Isaac Stern, why he was bringing all the great performers from Israel over to America. He once said to some of the, Perlman and others, that Israel is too small for people of your talents, and I took issue with him on that. Wasn't the only thing, but many, like Zubin Mehta, they have their heart in both places. He just performed for the annual Holocaust Commemoration Day at the UN. How do you find your transition to Juilliard, and do you still perform in Israel?
Well, actually, I'm of Israeli parentage, but it's Natalie over there, the parent, who's from Israel and went to Juilliard. So I don't know if she wants to discuss. I think she liked it.
But you are of Israeli parentage, right?
Yes, my mother is Israeli.
No, so what, Manis, so tell me about Manis.
So actually, I met all the girls at Manhattan School of Music. I was a transfer in movie.
Manhattan, I can't keep track of all these music schools. They're proliferating here.
I know, it's New York, as many music schools as Starbucks. But no, I studied in London, and I came, and the girls just welcomed me with open arms, and that's how we started working together. So that was a really nice transition.
That's the problem. The girls are welcoming each other with open arms, and they're not welcoming the men with open arms. You got to change this. But my question to all of you is this. Are you finding that the musicians from around the world basically are leaving their home countries, their birth countries, to want to study in New York for some reason? And what that reason is what I want to know.
Definitely. I mean, when I was studying in Europe, I noticed that a lot of European musicians were very interested in coming to study in New York. I mean, there's an obvious, fantastic culture here, and wonderful musicians. It's the center of a lot of musical life. So
shows to go listen to and to collaborate and study with incredible teachers. So it's really wonderful to be able to study music in New York.
All right, let's go to your next selection. Tell me about it first, and then sing directly into the microphone.
So the next piece is going to be Tumbala Laika, and this is actually about it's a piece about a Russian instrument called a Tumbala Laika, and it's kind of like, it's a little guitar, and it's about a Russian boy and a girl, typical serenading story. It's a Yiddish folktale, and it's got these little Latin beats to it, so we hope you enjoy it.
Wow, I'm getting my own concert here. I'm getting serenaded. I'm due for a serenade after all the hard labor I've been putting through here. And I must say I enjoy it. Not only that, but if you listen to the jive between all of the musicians, you'll see how they have interwoven all the different type of nuances on each instrument, and the cello just picks up where there's a space. It just picks it right in there, and then the violin comes in on the other space, and then all of a sudden you have the scat kind of talking and the singing, and you have, as you said, the bossa nova type of jazz rhythms and the Latin rhythms and the tumba. I'm sure the original tumba lalaika was a little lullaby for some little baby in the crib, and you marched from that into something you just want to leap onto the dance floor with. And it's really spirited, wonderful. This is to make a person happy, even me. And I thank you. We have a minute and a half left. I feel so terrible that hard-working keyboard in the back cannot get to say one word. And I don't want this to be a lesson to what you do with keyboard people, that you isolate them in the back. But she indicated she didn't want to talk. I would pass a mic back. It's your last opportunity. If not, you let her say something. Go ahead. Tell about Julia. And you all love each other. Obviously, you haven't fought yet. Can I start a fight? I can't start a fight here. No, you all gotta.
It's 5 women.
Let me hear. How do you like Julia?
I loved it, and what I loved the most is that I got to meet Talia, which now we're all working together because of her. Through her, I met everybody else in the group, and it's been a pleasure to work with everybody. So.
And how do you rehearse?
We meet a few times a week to plan out what we're going to do and what kind of music we're going to play for our next show.
And how do you? Repeat once more for our audience. How do they reach you? And we're a non-commercial station, and we're a not-for-profit group. And I'm assuming that you love to do not-for-profit work and charities and so on. But how person wants to reach you? How do they?
I will let Alicia explain one last time. Just 1 second.
Well, our email address is sheeba.ensemble@gmail.com. And you can also find us on MySpace. It's myspace.com/Sheeba Ensemble, one word. And we are also on our manager's website, and that's venusartists.com. That's venusartists.com. And we hope to be in touch. Please let us know if you need entertainment.
Thank you very much. I can't wait to have you back.
You. Thank you very much, Shannon. And thank you, Joanne and Jim. Thank you.
And best success in France. And let me know if you need somebody to help with the directions to the museum.